Welcome to the night section.
Part 1 ended with her body in his car and many unanswered questions. From the moment Celeste was identified, the internet's focus turned sharp. His music, once seen as art, now looked like evidence. Fans weren't just listening anymore, they were analyzing. Every lyric now felt like confessions. Every frame and shadow in his videos was under the microscope.
A body was found inside a car at a Hollywood tow lot today. 2023 Tesla is registered to musician David Anthony Burke, known professionally as David.
Suddenly, the art looked less like music. He wasn't just a TikTok kid with viral heartbreak songs anymore. His work, his genius, now seemed to carry a darker meaning. A new chapter, one that felt less like music and more like death.
Obviously, the other day, I was defending David. Before all the new evidence came out. I do not.
Still haven't brought in David after everything that they've found? Is that correct? That's crazy.
I got stolen. That's crazy though. What the fuck? Damn.
Why did I see that DVD'd fucking car got a fucking body in it? What does that mean?
Begin with that breaking news. Details after a body was found inside a car at a Hollywood tow lot.
Romantic homicide. David's breakout hit. Once a heartbreak anthem, now recast as something sinister. The title was already a burning question. It felt like a taunt. In the bridge, he sings, "In the back of my mind, you died and I didn't even cry. Not a single tear. I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive." Fans couldn't ignore it anymore, and the words lined up differently with Celeste's current fate. What was once metaphorical love now sounded like testimony. A song reimagined as a grim admission. Despite the song being released before Celeste's disappearance, it still sparked questions. To fans, it was the first breadcrumb. And that's when the pattern hunting began. His debut album, Withered, 2023, became ground zero for internet detectives. Tracks like Your Mind Still, Placebo Effect, and Notes of a Dead Man were no longer dismissed as teenage poetry. They now read like coded warnings. One fan's post went viral where they said, quote, "This isn't art. This is a diary of abuse." Another song pulled under the microscope was Save Your Tears, 7 Years. One lyric in particular said, quote, "Don't cry now, I'll hold you when the clock runs right." Fans tied it to the age gap between him and Celeste, 7 years younger, a line that once sounded poetic, now twisted and crazy evidence. And it didn't stop there. David teased fans constantly with demos and snippets on social media. Normally, that fed excitement, but now every unreleased song became another piece of the puzzle. One demo, known by fans as 6 Feet Under Love, was especially chilling. The lyric that spread like wildfire, quote, "In the dark, our secret sleeps 6 feet deep." So, is it a metaphor or grotesque reality? Depending on what you believed, was it a coincidence or a confession wrapped in melody? And with Celeste's body found, the context made it harder and harder to ignore. Suddenly, everything about David looked like a confession. His music, his visuals, even his wardrobe got analyzed as evidence. The grainy snippet began circulating, quote, "Forgive me for the scars I left you. I was just a kid." The audio was rough, passed around in short clips, and reposted endlessly. It sounded like an apology, but also an evasion. Now, was it real or a fabrication meant to stir chaos? No one could prove its origin, but the internet didn't care. To many, those words weren't just lyrics. They read like pages torn from a guilty diary. Then came the Discord leaks. Screenshots claimed to show David sharing a poem, quote, "Her name means heaven, but I dragged her through hell." Celeste's name literally means heavenly. If that post was authentic, it felt like a smoking gun. People pulled apart his discography. In songs like Placebo Effect, quote, "She was too young to know the cost, but I kept her hidden. I paid the loss." And in Notes of a Dead Man, quote, "She sleeps where the sun won't go. I locked the door. I can't let go." At first, these were just dark metaphors, but after news of Celeste's body remained surfacing, they read like confessions. Some swear the lyrics are proof of grooming and an open grave confession, while others argue it's just dark art. Either way, the public was convinced this wasn't music anymore. It was testimony, but the visuals were no better. together, every frame, every motif became suspect, like the Romantic Homicides music video, which showed a girl with a blurred face walking barefoot down a dark hallway. A door slammed. Later, David dropping to his knees in a field, digging with his bare hands. At the time, it symbolized heartbreak, now a burial, and then the neon sign, a blink and you miss it shot of David standing beneath glowing letters that reads, "Goodbye." The crazy part was after Celeste's memorial, someone spray painted "Goodbye Celeste." There are screenshots of the two moments spread side by side, a coincidence or another breadcrumb. The Here With Me music video, however, felt lighter, almost innocent for David, laughing with friends, running in sunlit streets, but in the background shadows crept in. A faceless girl with long dark hair appeared in and out of focus, barely visible. In one shot, she stood on a beach as David walked away. Now with Celeste, she also has long dark hair. A photo from her Instagram showed her standing on a near identical beach. The internet had found another quote-unquote match. Now even his albums and tour visuals, we're looking at a bit sideways now. The withered album cover showing a dried rose clutched in a child's hand. Now was that the foreshadowing of the quote-unquote withering youth? Something to think about. Then we have the tour visuals looped with unsettling imagery. A girl releasing balloons into the sky. Fans compared it to Celeste's missing flyer, which featured hand-drawn balloons by her younger cousin. Coincidence or deliberate? Then we have the stage design that further fed the paranoia. On one tour, petals drifted down from a withered rose until only thorns remained. During the final chorus of Romantic Homicide, a heart monitor line flatlined in sync with the music. Audiences once called it moving, now they call it eerie and chilling. Even his fashion choices became suspect. During an Instagram live, he wore a silver angel wing pendant. Celeste's friends had worn angel wing pins at her memorial. Fans screenshot the pendant and overlaid it on memorial images. Questions flooded the chat. David ended the stream abruptly. He never wore it again. A sign of guilt or a secret tribute, no one knew. Then came the Dark Eclipse 2024 hoodie, an eerie design of a girl shushing with her finger to her lip. After news broke about Celeste's tattoo, that hoodie sold out overnight. To some, it was merch. To others, it was plainly mockery. And then the live streams, the supposed smoking guns. Clips were resurfacing from January 2024, David streaming casually, next to him Celeste laughing, brushing her hair. At the time, no one questioned it. Now in hindsight, we have people online remorseful, like people from Reddit screaming, quote, "We watched grooming live on stream and did nothing," and quote, "Well, damn." Internet transformed into a digital crime lab. Subreddits, Discord servers, TikTok edits, X threads, all serving as open source evidence boards. Users built timelines, pinned screenshots, cross-checked dates, archived deleted clips. Some of it looked like conspiracy, some of it looked damning. Either way, his art had stopped being art. It had become damning evidence. Within a week, the storm had a name. Hashtags like #DavidExposed and #Justice for Celeste flooded feeds, climbing into millions of views. Clips of his concerts resurfaced with captions reading, "Look how he stares at underage fans." Then came the bombshell, Discord leak. There were old server chats from 2021 that reappeared, splashed across Reddit. Screenshots showed David asking about Celeste by name. Mods claimed she told him she was 18, but other messages mocked her as a middle school girlfriend. One leaked audio clip had him laughing, saying, "She's my little secret." Other leaks were darker. Screenshots of DMs where Celeste wrote, "I'm safe, I love you. I'll text you in a week." In another, she worried, "I just don't want you to get in trouble. I'll keep our secret." And his reply, quote, "You're so mature for your age. You get me like no one else." In isolation, it could be flirting, but framed within Celeste's story,
I media trained you. That's controversial.
It's controversial of kids. Oh my
It read more like evidence, more like grooming. On Reddit, the hunt escalated, and there was one post titled Decoding David, Clues in the Music, which mapped every lyric to Celeste's life. They tied the line, "I'm sick of waiting patiently for someone that won't even arrive," to a supposed July 2023 meetup she missed. Friends said her parents intervened that night. Days later, David uploaded a snippet of a song, lyrics filled with anger and despair. Redditors saw it as a diary, each verse another breadcrumb in an alleged grooming timeline. On Twitter, the hashtag Celeste Rivas trended on and off. One viral thread by user at Justice4CC laid it out in 20 tweets with screenshots, receipts, timelines. One message stood out, Celeste asking, quote, "When can we meet? It's been 6 months." And David's alleged reply was, quote, "Soon. I promise. Just don't tell anyone. I'll make it worth it. If genuine, that was the smoking gun." But questions swirled. Were the screenshots real? Cropped usernames, blurred icons. Easy to fake, easy to manipulate. Still, consistency made them believable, and in the court of public opinion, consistency was conviction. The backlash wasn't from strangers, it came from his own fan base. Supporters split into factions. Some defended him, he's innocent, the industry is framing him. Others called him delusional. TikTok filled with teenagers burning merch, crying duets. Fan Discord servers purged anyone mentioning Celeste's name. One of the screenshots claimed there was a private invite-only server where David vented about someone who betrayed and allegedly confessed, quote, "I messed up bad, but I can fix it." Now that phrase, "I can fix it," no, sent chills. Now leave it to the online detectives to feel unstoppable. Every lyric, every photo, every timestamp, nothing was too small to matter. And soon, mainstream media noticed. CNN ran the headline, quote, "David tour dates removed after discovery of body in Los Angeles." Fox News framed it as proof of, quote, "Gen Z culture gone rotten." Rolling Stone traced his meteoric rise and his possible fall, and mid-tour, venues canceled, fans arrived at locked arenas, TikTok birthed hashtag empty seats for David. By month's end, every North American date was gone. Europe followed, his tour was over, and his record label, Interscope Records, stayed silent. No statement, nothing. Billboard leaked that executives considered severing ties. Hollister erased his campaign from their website. Beats pulled ads featuring his music. Nike scrubbed his collab. Within 30 days, David went from Billboard star to brand liability. Then came the freeze out. Collaborators vanished. Kali Uchis unfollowed him on IG, and Sis's team cut ties. And at least 4 upcoming features were shelved indefinitely. Even Vince Staples hopped in the chat and tweeted, quote, "Y'all heard the lyrics, y'all knew," and Billie Eilish liked a post calling David predatory trash. He is now a toxic currency in the industry. Not everyone condemned him though. A few defended him with hashtag innocent until proven guilty. Some even blamed it on the system. So for David, that touring money gone, Spotify playlists gone, endorsements evaporated in thin air, $2 to $3 million lost in weeks. Unfortunately, his catalog, once a goldmine, now a curse. Meanwhile, Celeste's family broke their silence. They asked for privacy and for faith in law enforcement. Fans held candlelight vigils outside venues, painted murals in Houston, Lake Elsinore, Los Angeles. Justice for Celeste wasn't just a hashtag, it became a movement. As for David, he said nothing. No interview, no live stream, nothing. Just one lawyer's statement, quote, "He maintains his innocence and continues to cooperate." Night section out.